saw The Killer, not The Killers, The Killer, Netflix. It's also a limited release. Here's my review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's me, and I'm going to talk about my review of The Killer. Okay, so The Killer is a new movie by David Fincher. He has done, of course, Zodiac, Gone Girl, and one of my absolute all-time favorite films ever, Seven. So as I sat down to see this movie with my wife, I was super excited. Why? Because it's David Fincher. And you think of the movies that he has done, his style, and the way that he does his world building is just spectacular, right? So I was all pumped up. I had a buddy of mine who says, hey, you got to see the movie. I saw it. It was awesome. I'm like, okay, cool. By the way, don't forget, hit the subscribe button down below. Helps us out a lot. So this review is not going to be super long. I'm going to get kind of the point. The movie, surprisingly, as excited as I was a little bit of a disappointment. I'm not saying it's bad. And in fact, I'm going to say a lot of things that are actually really, really good. And so to start off is this. He does a spectacular job in creating this world, right? His cinematography is always absolutely amazing. This one isn't as gritty as some of his other films like Seven or Gone Girl. It's funny because you would think it would be a little bit grittier like his own style, but it's not. It's a little cleaner look. But the sound design that he uses in this is another one of those things that he just does a great job on, but this one goes above and beyond. Michael Fassbender is the killer. And one of his things that he does, he actually uses music, puts in headphones to give him a little bit of a distraction in his daily life, which of course is an assassin. And so the use of that with the sound design, again, was just perfection. You would hear from, if it was looking from his perspective, point of view, all the sound was filling the room. It was amazing. And if it was from something from behind him or showing, you would just hear the little bit of like, you know, when you hear somebody listening to music in a headphones and you can hear the music spilling out of their ear. But again, everything was actually top notch. And so that part, technically, there was so much in this movie that I was praising. I was like, man, that's cool. That is awesome. And that's the best part of the film. Admittedly, there are a couple of really, really amazing scenes as well. So there's a fight scene that is, again, top notch. It's one of the best fight scenes you'll ever see, to the death. It's great. And then Tilda Swinton is also in this, and there's a scene with her much more subdued but interesting and very cerebral as they have this conversation. But generally, a lot of those things, those highlights were spectacular highlights. But for me, the low light is actually just a simple fact that the movie didn't hook me. I watched it with my wife, and neither one of us felt like we were grabbed and brought into the movie to care for him. Granted, he's an assassin. Granted, his job is to be very, very quiet and do things and get away with everything and kill people regardless. But there is usually something that will pull you in, and for some reason, it didn't. Listen, it's on Netflix, so if you don't go to the theater, you can see it on Netflix. And I would love to hear from you guys what you guys thought, because honestly, in the comments down below, that's where we can have a good conversation about this. I didn't get hooked, but I know two people who did get hooked and they thought it was great. It just didn't work for me that way, and I don't know exactly why. Typically, David Fincher movies grab me. They grab the audience. They pull you in and make you care, sympathize, empathize with what is going on, and this one just didn't do it for me. I don't know why. That being said, I'm sure that you are all going to have like, really, really yes, no, you're going to agree or disagree, because even within my own friends, it's been very polarizing as far as whether it was a good film or not. I recognize, no matter what, everybody recognizes the technical stuff and how great the movie looks and how the sound is. Even the story itself is actually spectacular. It's just the hook that's missing for me. Ultimately, I'm going to give this movie a 70. So should you go see this film? If it's local and you can go see it in a theater, great. But it's limited release, but it is on Netflix. So I would love to hear what you guys think about this movie, because again, I had friends on both sides like myself who were just like, it's okay. And other people thought it was really, really good. Nobody said great, but everybody agreed that the cinematography, the sound design, the story was actually really, really good. It was a compelling story, at least, as far as like the ideas of it. It just didn't connect with me enough that I would say, oh my God, you gotta go see this film. But again, at home, Netflix, check it out. All right, everybody, that wraps it up for me. Thanks so much for stopping by again, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe down below, and we'll see you guys next time.